Coach, adversity, something you guys have overcome very well so far this season, and just how do you go through this next step of where you guys are at and what you guys have to go through now?
Together. That's the only way we can get it done. That's been one of our strengths this year, is the groups bonding and being together and carrying each other through, ups and downs, and supporting one another through, injuries, COVID, losses, whatever it may have been. Our group hasn't fractured. And that's the only way we'll get through this.
Are you having conversations with your team about what you're going through, something that you feel necessary, or is it necessary in your mind at this point?
No, we obviously address, the current situations that we're facing. Having empathy for our teammates and understanding what they're going through is extremely important to us. So we make sure that we address it. We talk about the impact that it has on our team, and then how we can move forward from it. So it's not something that we won't discuss or that we try to sweep under the rug. There are conversations that we have, that continue to help this group bond because they care about each other on a higher level than just the basketball. So, that's helped us with our early successes this year. And, the team that we've become is because of, how they feel about one another and how they support one another.
The ball handling situation, I know you don't seem like a person that would want to change your system or change anything right now, but just how will you go about handling that overall?
We obviously have guys we believe can handle the ball, but we're also lucky to have big guys who can really handle the ball. You look at Lowry's skill set, Evan's skill set, Kevin Love's skill set. Like, we have big guys who can facilitate offense for us as well. So we have things built into our system where we put the ball in their hands and allow them to be playmakers. So, you'll see more of that, obviously, just because we are limited at that position.
I know you've talked about throughout the season gaining respect throughout the league, and from whether, be from other teams or from wherever. And just listening to Wes talk about facing you guys twice already this year, you talked about your defense and how handsy and how difficult it is to score upon your team. What does that mean to you that other coaches are trying to see some of the things that are difficult to play when they see the Cavaliers?
He talking about us being handsy. He's using diplomacy to try to get fouls called. That's what he's doing. Again, it's just what we do. Our guys have to go out and continue to play a certain style of basketball. We are long, and we are, active with our hands because of that length. And, we can be physical and all those things. So that's just who we have to be. And again, Wes and I are close. Our families are close. So it means a lot for him, to compliment our group and talk about that. But, we got to go out and we got to continue to compete and be who we are.
Next question from Kelsey.
Kelsey Russo, The Athletic, KJB.
Hey, Kelsey.
Have you talked to Ricky since either the announcement of the injury and everything, or since the injury happened?
Yeah, I spoke to him last night.
Okay. And then, obviously with that news, how do you keep him involved, I guess, with the team? Because obviously he's done for the season, but still keep him involved with you guys because he is still a part of the team.
Well, he wants to be a part of the team still. And I think that's, the most important thing is, obviously, this was the last year remaining on his deal, and he could have very easily, just said, oh, the injury happens, I'm going to move on. But in our conversation, he said that, he's not done yet and that he wants to continue to be a part of the team. And, that's the type of person he is. So we want him around. His personality is infectious. His spirit's infectious. His knowledge for the game is helpful. His level of competition and his ability to push guys' buttons is helpful. So, when he's able, we'll want him around the team as much as possible.
And then you touched on Kevin Pangos a little bit on Tuesday, but even now more so with the current situation you guys are in. What stands out to you, or what have you seen from Kevin, I guess, in practices and shoot-arounds and such that you can see as he can implement and add to you guys?
Well, one, he's extremely heady and understands the game at a high level. Two, he's a good pick and roll player. He can make the reads out of pick and roll, whether it's shot, score, or pass the ball on. And he's a competitor, so he fits right in with our group. He's unselfish. So all those things that make up, our team, he has those characteristics as well. So, we go out, we support him, we give him confidence and give him an opportunity to go get it done.
And then one more for me. Is there anything extra, I guess, that you need from Isaac at the 2 now, or just allow him to, because he is, was playing really, really well, then was coming back, but is there anything now even more you need from him?
I mean, he needs to be who he is, and we've talked about it before. We don't need people to try to play outside of themselves, because that tends to impact the team in a negative way. We need people to be the best versions of themselves. And I think Isaac, was playing at a high clip before, COVID hit. But, we just need him to get back to that, and that's the best version of himself.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on Zoom? In the room, Josh?
Hey, Jared Allen was doubtful tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Will he play tonight?
He's doubtful for tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Glenn Consort with the TV for I can't imagine what you guys, Wes, and the rest of the coaches are going through with having to pick up players, and change your schemes to some degree. At least they got to be tweaked. Can you just talk a little bit about, it's really on the fly coaching and how difficult that's been really for you and your colleagues?
I mean, it is tough. I think, the biggest thing is figuring out how personnel fits within your system. And when you're, and then how do you get that personnel acclimated quickly, because they're guys that have to get on the floor and they have to play. Your homework is extremely important about the people's character that you're picking up, because you need guys who are capable of fitting in, and that's not always easy, but you need people who are, able to come in quickly, adjust to a new group of personalities and a new identity of what the team is, because wherever they've been, it's always going to be different. So understanding the makeup and the character of the people that you're bringing in is extremely important. And then you have to simplify as much as you possibly can, and get back to the basics of basketball 101. You're not running a whole lot of sets anymore, because those guys are new, and trying to figure all those things out at once is very difficult. So, it's back to just basketball of, how do I do something to help my teammates on both ends of the floor, and try to keep it as simple as that, get guys who really want to compete and really want to scrap, and then go from there.